Huh. Hey guys, how you doing? I haven't vlogged for a while. Sorry about that. The plan actually for this vlog was actually going to be the beautiful, nice, picturesque, beautiful Bayside for you, to talk about like my week. Um, but it's blowing a fucking gale out there, like it's nuts. Um, which I'll get to in a bit more in a bit later. Yeah, it's horrendously breezy out there as it is. My wind chimes are probably going to like drown this video out. Anyway, so yeah, it was kind of like, okay, you get to see my red face inside instead of outside in the beautiful surrounds. Anyway, okay, so what's been happening? Okay, wow. So yes, as you know, I did my first try last week. That was epically awesome. Like seriously, like I think I possibly gave them the most cheesiest finish line photo. Like it was like I just finished an Ironman or something. I was just like that epic. But you know, it's pretty epic for me for completing that triathlon because that's a big deal. Like it's for somebody who couldn't ride a bike and could barely swim like less than a year ago, like with well, what are we in September? So yeah, like 9 months ago, couldn't do any of this stuff. Like that's still pretty epic and pretty cool. Sorry, my arm's actually a bit sore. Don't try to hold the camera up here. Oh, so anyway, so yeah, I was so pleased, so chuffed with myself. I know it was only a sprint try. Like as I said in the immediate post race video, like I've done a bit more thinking analysis of it now since then. And it's and that's the good thing is sort of it was funny actually in the like the athletes briefing the day before there was like at the end of it think of the three things you did well and three things that you could do better on. Well, the swim obviously is like number one and probably two. The other interesting thing is that I burnt a lot of time in transition. I burnt nearly 10 minutes in T1. T2 wasn't so bad. T2 was only a couple of minutes. So T2 was pretty much on par. But T1, I burnt so much time in T1, it wasn't funny. And funny enough, what it was me trying to check my sugar levels. Because I was wet, I kept damaging. Like I kept I don't know what it is, invalidating the test strip for my blood sugar because it detected liquid on it, so it just went, oh, this must be a used strip, and it was like, well, cool story. It's not, but whatever, cool. So yeah, I went through like 4 strips before I actually got a valid reading. So now I'm trying to organise CGM, but CGM is just so bloody expensive, and yeah, anyway, that's a whole nother issue. Ooh, what was that? Okay. Anyway, not my house. I'm good. So and so that was a big thing. I was really pleased with the fact that I had a negative split on the run. So the second lap of the run was a negative split. And that was really exciting. It's the first time I've ever had a negative split. So that was really cool. The biking was solid. The bike was solid. It was like once I was on the bike, I was moving. But the downside of it was I didn't hydrate on the bike because I still can't pull a bottle out of a cage and drink. I still haven't learned that skill yet. And yeah, so that was sort of like the other lesson to learn is that I needed to hydrate better because I definitely was not hydrated, and that did slow me down on the run. I definitely was dehydrated. So anyway, but yeah, as I said, it was an awesome thing, and I was a bit sore. And the next day, I was kind of like, coach hit me down to do swim set, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure how I'm gonna go with this. Actually, I felt really good. I actually felt better after the swim set than I did going into it, so that was really cool. Still working on the whole open water swim thing. Haven't had a chance to practice that again soon, but that will probably be coming up shortly. So Noose is not far away. Anyway, but as I said, I still feeling a bit better about my running and cycling and stuff. So there you go. The week's just been sort of me sort of like moseying along. Work's been flat out, which has been a challenge as always. And I had my first long run. Hello, hello. Daddy's doing his vlog. You want to say hello? Austin's come to say hello. See, you want to say hello? You want to say hello? Hello. Hello. Okay. Ow, this is Lycra. Lycra is not kitty claw proof. Ow. Anyway, um, yeah. So, but one thing that did happen was that I had my longest run this week. Um, I had my longest run this week, so it was 12K run. Um, and quite frankly, that was horrific. Like it was not good. And it was funny because I'd originally planned on doing a half marathon on Saturday, um, as part of the Twilight Running Festival, in Queensland, and I was going to do the Wynnum Half Marathon, and I left it right at the last minute, and eventually sort of like my coach sort of said, look, you're better, but you're not better yet. You still back up to building a base, and I did a long run on Friday. I did 12Ks on Friday, and that really was a bit eye opening, because it showed that yes, I am getting better. Like, that's good, but my running still is not where it was. So I definitely am not ready to take on a half marathon yet. So, um, I'm grateful to the coach for convincing me not to go, not to go and do it. So, but I felt really bad because one of my training partners, she's never done that kind of distance before. The longest she's ever done is 15. But I'd sort of said to her that I was planning on doing it, but I did make it clear to her that it was, pending injury and all the rest of it. But she went ahead and signed up, and she went ahead and did it, and I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. She did it. She ran the whole thing, which is what I didn't do on my first half. I had to walk a couple of k's of it. So I'm so proud of Tam for doing that. I instead, if as I couldn't run, I volunteered instead. So I volunteered to sort of pack down and stuff. But I got there early to make sure I could see Tam. And I was sort of just standing shooting the shit with a couple of the other volunteers and some of the like police and traffic control. Anyway, but where it was it was about 1K in, to the loop, because it's a two loop course, a 2 lap course. And I sort of did that, and I sort of also watched Tam first, and then I stayed there because I remembered, and I watched when Tam came through. And because I remembered that it was the hard part for me when I did mine, because I had no support crew out there on the course or anything like that for me. That you start hitting a wall, particularly in your first one, you start hitting a wall around sort of like the 15K mark. So I was still there when she came around for the start of her second lap. So what I did is I went out, and mind you, I was not in running gear. I was in a like knitted polo and bloody jeans. Like, I was not set up for running. But I went out, and I saw, I just had a funny feeling that she might be struggling, so I just ran with her for about a K, just over a K. Just ran with her just to see how she's doing, just to check in on her, because they said just. I know she had a family there, but it was kind of like, when you're out on a course, it can get very lonely. When you're out in the middle of a run, so I was sort of like, I'll just cruise with you for a bit, see how you're doing, and I'm so proud of it. And I was there. I was very fortunate enough that I managed to get my volunteering, the work I was doing, to happen to be right near the finish chute, when she came in. So I got a photo of her coming through the finish. So that was really awesome. So I am so proud of Tam for that. She's amazing. So there you guys. But something actually on that though is that and being around and doing the volunteering, the pack down, meant that I'm there till the end. I'm there till the last athlete comes in, and you know what? It takes guts to take on a half marathon. It really does. From experience too here. But I'm so impressed that people do it. There are people that that they the people coming in at the end, they were struggling a bit, but you know what? The fact that they did it and gave it a go and got there and finished it, it's still a huge accomplishment. It really is. So yeah, and it really went to show. It really went to show that a lot of people on various different journeys of their own, and to get there is really cool. And it's so I say, just if you're watching this, go out and find your local one. Do the 10K. Do a 5K, do a 10K, do a half marathon. Get a bit of running practice in first, but still, don't let don't let yourself be disillusioned or daunted by it. You know, it is possible. You can do it. I mean, I'm proof of that. I am absolute proof of that. The fact that, you know, you can, you know, be given all sorts of obstacles, and you can still take them on and still challenge yourself, and people's perceptions, probably more importantly, and perceptions of yourself. I think is actually an even bigger part of that as well. So there you go. Anyway, so yeah, it was really cool doing that. And then this morning was a ride. Today was a bit of a science experiment. Today was a science experiment, testing out Tailwind while I was out for a ride. And you know what? I don't want to speak too soon because I want to do another long ride or a long run to see if the results stack up. But oh wow, I basically didn't have to use a gel like while I was on the Tailwind. Like I stopped using the Tailwind for the back end of the ride, but I basically, my sugars was like solid, consistent. It was giving me everything I needed just out of the fluid. If that holds true on another test ride, that is going to be so good. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to speak too soon about it, but that was really awesome. I think I'm already converted. I've had a few people tell me the quality of Tailwind, and I've been a bit dubious of it. But you know what? This first experience has been amazing. So I'll see how we go. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. So I'm back with try training. Unfortunately, work's going to get in the way of try training. And in the lead up to Noosa too, which is a bit shit, but anyway. But hopefully spend a bit of time doing some open water swimming, getting over whatever fears of that I have. Oh my god, oh dear. Yeah, I just did 100 Ks on the bike, 'cause I was only going to do 80. I was doing 3 points today. And then I was riding back from Victoria Point. I thought, okay, you know what? Let's push this out. Let's make this 100. And it's like, where can I do my extra 20 Ks? And it's like, okay, well, I know there's like the Birkdale area, there's like a loop, there's like a 10K loop. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll do 2 loops there, and that should, you know, set me up. I should be good. Yeah, that seemed like a really good idea, and it probably would be on a normal day. But as I said, the wind, as I said earlier, the wind is just horrifically. It's blowing from the northeast, so it's basically just. And I think that it would easily be 20 knots. Like I think you could get a Piper Cub and you could actually keep it like stationary. I think you could hover a Piper Cub with this wind. Yeah, so it's just like yeah, and just riding into that was just horrific. And it was like, and I was about halfway through the first extra lap, and I was like, was this such a good idea? But of course I'm a stubborn ass, so I just kept going and made sure that I finished my 100 Ks. So yes, I did 100, and I think it's 103 104 today, which was pretty cool. So it's the longest ride I've done, so there you go. Another 100K. Not quite on my century ride yet, but I'm getting there, so there you go. Alright guys, as I said, I just wanted to check in to let you know that I'm still around. It's just, as I said, work's been a bit crazy with things, and it's going to get a bit more crazier, but I just had a great ride. I've had a great week, and I hope you guys are being awesome too. It's great to hear from you in the comments and stuff, so I look forward to hearing more from you, and I should be able to give a few more vlogs this week, hopefully, maybe. Otherwise guys, take care, have fun, and I will see you on the next episode. I'm going to go have some breakfast. I'm starving. It's lunchtime and I'm starving. Anyway, bye guys.